that knockout in the first round was the best thing that could have happened to Sean. And in his head, he was like, this guy, I'm on the same level. To be in a ring inside with somebody and you catch him, this guy's the best. He's everything. You're just Sean fucking Strickland and you just caught him and you go into your corner. At that point, you're like, I'm getting that fucking belt. That belt is mine. That had to be Sean Strickland's mind after that first round ended. Like he had to know. He had to know that he was going to win that fight. And in my head, I was like, bro, if Sean gets his fucking head right, he's going to win that fight. Because you just caught him. Nobody expected that. Izzy didn't expect it either. He had no respect for Sean Strickland at all. Zero. Hey guys, welcome to the False Line Podcast here with episode 161. What a night that was, huh? Sean Strickland is the new middleweight UFC champion. Who would have thought? Number 5th ranked. His story is crazy, and we're going to get into it. Last night was a good-ass fight card. I was really, I wasn't expecting a lot. And I say it's a good-ass fight card. The fights were entertaining. It wasn't nothing like too exciting, but it was entertaining. It was entertaining. There was a lot of there was a few stoppages, and I mean the main event. It was just a flawless performance from Sean Strickland. It was unbelievable. So, let's get right into it. Let's talk about these fights. Let's talk about what happened over the weekend, and yeah. So let's talk about. Tyson, Pedro, Justin Tafa got the win. They look sharp. They look good. Don't know them too much, but it was good to see some new faces in the UFC. I forgot to mention I'm wearing my Cowboys jersey. They're playing tonight. It's Sunday. This will be up in 2 days. So, yeah. Hopefully we do good. You know, we them boys. Wish us luck. But, yeah, Tyson, Pedro, Justin Tafa, they look great. Pretty straightforward fight. I mean, both those guys got knockouts right away. But let's talk about Manel Kape versus Felipe dos Santos. I saw Embedded. I wish I would have made a prediction on this, but I didn't. I saw Embedded, and it got me to watch these guys' fights previously. And I was really, 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 really just surprised by Dos Santos. Like, he's so fast. He's quick. I want to say he beat Chandler in Bellator, but, I mean, the dude's impressive. He's fast. So I was just like excited to watch him fight. And then Kape or Kape, he's good, solid guy. He's a heavy favorite, and I understand even more now why. And his future is exciting. So about the fight itself, it was a great performance from both guys. Kape, he won the fight, dominated, well performance, made a statement, in my opinion, against someone like Dos Santos, who, he looks threatful, he looks scary, and he's so fast, and he reminded me of Charles Oliveira, you know, the same hair, the tattoos, the style, just pressuring you, throwing you different things from different angles. It was fun to see. It was fun to watch, and I don't know if this was his first fight or not in the UFC. I don't think so, but I don't know. And he just looked fun. He looked exciting. He has a bright and exciting future, you know, if he keeps, you know, good people around him and stays motivated. But the fight itself, it was good. I didn't think it was going to go 3 rounds after the first round. I was like, someone's about to get knocked the fuck out, you know. And Dos Santos had a chin on him, man, because he got hit with some bombs. And I was like, whoa. So that fight was like, I was like, damn, I got a new I got a new what's it called? Oh, fuck. Well, Dos Santos got a new fan. I'm a fan. Same thing with Kape. Like, I'm a fan too, from Portugal. He's a savage. He talks crazy. He don't give a fuck. And, he's ready to fight. And he's down to fight anybody. I think he's down to fight him. I don't know. I'm speaking for him. The fight went good. The decision was right. He landed the cleaner punches. It looked like he was controlling the fight. So he came out on top at the end. I can see him competing with the best of the best up there. You know, Kai France, Davidson Figueiredo. That's a good fight for him. Brandon Moreno and Pantoja. He already fought Pantoja, lost in the decision. I think he should fight Davidson Figueiredo next. That would be so fun to watch because they're both like the same height. They're both strong, and it would just be it would be a good fight to watch. Now for Dos Santos, I mean, he was right there with Cap, so like I think he can get a few fights in that division and just work his way up. He's so young; he's 23 years old. You know, if he can keep it up and stay healthy and, like I said, stay motivated, I mean, he can have a long career in the UFC, like more than 10 years, you know, and possibly a good run at the title if he ever, you know, gets to that. But that fight was exciting. It was interesting to see. And like I said, I'll be following both guys and looking forward to see them fight in the future. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to watch these events, all UFC events, and watch these fighters and get to know them a little bit, things like that, because I hate getting called a casual. So, because I'm not. I love watching the sport, and it's super exciting to me. So then we had Tai Tuivasa versus Volkov. I was upset, you know, and like I guess disappointed. And then I was also just kind of shocked or surprised from Volkov's performance, like just how she dominated. For Tai, I mean, he didn't look good out there. I mean, he got knocked out. This is his third loss in a row. You know, he went from 5 wins in a row to 3 losses in a row. I mean, it has to be tough for Tai. Like, what do you do now? Where do you go from here? Like, who do you fight? You know, and I mean, your ranked position, you're gonna go down to like 8 or 9. You know, and it's tough. Volkov just dominated the whole fight, and Tai just didn't have any answers. You know, didn't look good. You know, like the Tuivasa that we're used to seeing, like, just didn't look good. Looks like he didn't have anything in there. And he just didn't. He showed no threat. He landed a few, but just no threat. Volkov walked him down, dominated the whole fight, looked great, looked sharp. And, I mean, he said it. He wants one more shot at the title and, you know, to get to the title shot. And this is definitely a fight where he puts himself in a position where, you know, he gets to fight a tougher opponent. And I'll talk about that in a second. And for Tai, it's just like you got to do some soul searching. You got to have some real conversation with yourselves because, I mean, he got dominated, you know, and it was sad to see. I was like, fuck, man, that sucks. It sucks. Such a heavy fan favorite, was on top of the world last year, you know, and I mean, even when he fought Cyril Gane, it was a good ass fight. You know, that shit went to, I think it went to the 3rd round, but still, you know, you get knocked out in a few seconds against Pavolic, and then now you got, I want to say it was like the 2nd or 3rd round, you got subbed. And I was like, fuck, man, like, what happened? You know, but it is what it is. It sucks for Tuivasa, but he needs to get his confidence back. He needs to fight somebody that he could most likely beat. And, you know, just get his confidence back. You know, try and just see if I think he still can fight at the highest level with those guys, but he probably has to do, like I said, some soul searching or just figure out how he wants to train. I don't know. He needs to figure something out because we want to see him in the UFC. We want to see him do good. We want to see him succeed. And, I mean, he just has to perform. You know, hopefully those 5 wins in a row and the fame and everything, like, and the money, hopefully that didn't get to him and made him a little lazy and got him caught up. I don't know, but hopefully he can come back and just go back to the old Bam Bam that we know. Now for Volkov, statement performance. Like I said, one of these guys got to make a statement, and Volkov did, just dominated the whole fight. And it's like, well, he just beat the number 5 guy, and it's just like, well, who does he fight now? And I was like, well, I mean, there's Tom, there's Cyril Gane, there's Pavolic, and then obviously we got John Jones, Stipe, but I don't think Stipe and John Jones are probably going to fight after this fight. I think it's probably their last fight so it's like, what, you can fight Cyril Gane, you can fight Tom, or you can fight Pavolic, one of those guys. I think Volkov needs to fight one of them, and we'll see where that goes. But he showed dominant performance, but you know, you got to jump the ladder and see if he got it against one of those 3 guys that I just mentioned. So, yeah. Let's see. Before we get to that final fight, that, I mean, it was insane. It was insane. So, all right, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about Sean Strickland versus Israel Adesanya. Oh, Sean. I said it in the last episode. I don't. The clear answer is there's no way Sean's winning this fight at all. There's just no way. I don't see him knocking out Izzy. I don't see him controlling the fight for 5 rounds and going 5 rounds with Izzy and beating him in decision. I said that was the only way he could have won, but I just didn't see it happening. Sean came out there, looked nervous, looked tense, looked like a little you could tell it was his first title fight, and I was like, "Fuck, man! Like, hopefully the moment isn't too big for him, and he just like folds." And in my head, I was like, "No, there's no way Sean Strickland can fold. Like, he's such a just like he doesn't give a fuck. Like, he can't fold. He won't fold. Like, there's just no way." Izzy comes out with all the confidence in the world, very smooth looks. I'm like, fuck, man, this is gonna be a fast knockout. And then even from when they were announcing their names, and then Sean Strickland and Izzy were just staring each other down, and I was like, oh, Sean's locked in. Let's fucking go. I just love an underdog story, So Sean just locked the fuck in and looking at Izzy, and I'm still like, oh, like I want Sean to win just because like his story, he's fucking crazy. Like, just imagine him as champion. Like, that should be wild, right? And I'm but in my head, I'm like, Izzy's gonna win this fight. Like, if Izzy wins the fight and it's knockout, I go on about my business and that's it, right? And just like all of UFC fans, that's how we were all like, Izzy's gonna win the fight and he's still the champion, one of the best, and it is what it is. So, the fight is about to start and I'm just nervous, and I'm like, man, like, Sean, like, come on, bro, like you can do this. And then the other side of me is like, bro, Izzy's gonna catch him. He's just too good. So the fight starts and Sean's just, hunting him down, just walking him down, whatever. And I'm like, okay, Sean look good. Like, he's kind of controlling the fight a little bit. And one thing from the gate, the leg kicks, just avoiding those. And I was just impressed throughout the whole fight, how he just got out the fucking way. And I said this in the last episode. I was like, Izzy's going to throw them kicks and get you caught. And Sean, I don't know if it was in his training camp. It had to be. Sean did not get kicked. And I don't know if he knew, as long as he doesn't get kicked, he's not getting knocked the fuck out. And I remember just saying, like, Izzy's going to kick him, show him a few kicks, and then he's going to throw that right hand. And I think that's what Izzy tried to do. I don't know if that's a signature move. I don't know if, Sean was like, no fucking way, like, whatever. So the fight's going, trying to throw those kicks. Izzy don't land shit. Next thing you know, it's the end of the round, and Sean Strickland catches Israel Adesanya, and it's like, oh shit. And it was like, what the fuck, and Sean almost got him. And Izzy got saved by the bell. It was nice to see the referee, not even try and intervene, let Izzy, go about the fight. It was nice. It was good, because we all possibly could have thought that the Alex Pereira fight could have, early stoppage, whatever. So this one, the fact that they let it go, maybe it was because of the bell, so he was going to get saved by the bell regardless. But the fact that Sean Strickland caught Izzy so clean, and he closed the distance. It wasn't like a faint, boom. It was like Sean was slowly closing the distance throughout the whole round. He got close enough and just caught him clean right in the chin. And Izzy folded and I was like, oh my God. I knew the fight wasn't over at that point. I was like, the time, I was like, there's just no way it's done. They're going to come back second round now. He can get caught second round, but there's no way that's going to end right now. So at that point, I was like, bro, this whole fight is different now. Completely different. Izzy's game plan has to change. He has to make adjustments. Because, getting knocked down by someone like Sean Strickland, like, you can't just ignore that. Izzy had to acknowledge it and respect it. And Izzy was throwing a lot of feints and looking. He reminded me of Sean O'Malley, just looking, and I was like, it's, a lot of hesitations, things like that. And I was like, Sean, you can just see Sean going like this. And Sean looked very nervous in the beginning, but then he got confident. And that knockout in the first round was the best thing that could have happened to Sean. The fact that he got that, and in his head, he was like, this guy, I'm on the same level. Imagine, I don't know what it feels like, but I can imagine, I'm a guy, and they're very competitive. So to be in a ring inside with somebody and you catch them, You catch him. This guy's the best. He's everything. You're just Sean fucking Strickland, and you just caught him, and you go into your corner. At that point, you're like, I'm getting that fucking belt. That belt is mine. That had to be Sean Strickland's mind after that first round ended. Like, he had to know. He had to know that he was going to win that fight. And in my head, I was like, bro, if Sean gets his fucking head right, he's going to win that fight. Because you just caught him. Nobody expected that. Izzy didn't expect it either. He had no respect for Sean Strickland at all. Zero. You know? And about that, watching Embedded, watching Izzy, like, obviously we don't see the whole training camp, but you see Izzy, you know, little bits, snippets here and there of them training. I thought it was kind of weird to me that Izzy wasn't training on the individual level. You know, you saw Izzy in groups. I know a lot of MMA gyms and jiu-jitsu gyms or karate gyms or whatever type of gyms. They all trained in groups, but I'm like, bro, if Izzy's fighting for a title shot, why isn't he just sparring or just having individual training with the striking coach, grappling coach, wrestling coach, whatever? I was like, why is he training in groups? Like, why is he doing everything with the groups? And I was like, that's weird. That's strange. And I mean, to me now, I'm like, I mean, I don't know if he didn't train that serious or he didn't take Sean serious. I don't know. But like as far as training goes. But I know after that fight, he just didn't take Sean seriously. Had no respect for Sean in the ring. And that caused him to get caught. No one thought, including Izzy, that Sean could do that to Israel. The rest of the fight, I mean, after that, it was Sean Strickland's fight, you know. He put on one of the best performances defensively against one of the best strikers in the UFC ever. You know, and just to be rolling them, looking sharp, looking like Mayweather out there. That shit was fucking insane. Like, the whole fight, second round, third round, fourth round, I was like, how is Sean Strickland pulling this shit off? How? Izzy has beat Robert Whittaker. I don't know how to say the guy's name that starts with a G. It's like Gustafsson or I don't know how to say his name. You know, he's beat him, Jared, Carnier, who's the other ones? Alex Pereira, Paulo Costa. Like, he's beating Vittori. You know, like, he's beating the shit out of these guys. And then you got Sean fucking Strickland, ranked number 5. Just lost to Jared Carnier and got knocked out by fucking Alex Pereira in the span of like a year, 12 months. You know? I know I said that I think this is his 5th fight in the span of a year. He lost 2 of those and won 3. And one of them was a last notice fight. You know? And I'm like, bro, he's on some weird, not weird, just on a different level as far as training. And I mean, he does love fighting. But he just walked down Izzy second, third. And this is an Izzy who just avenged a loss against his nemesis. So you would think that Izzy is like fucking just on fire, on top of the world. I'm unbeatable. You know, here's this fucking white dude talking mad shit about me and my dog and where I'm from. And, you know, all this gibberish that Sean talks about, all this nonsense. Like, if I'm Izzy, I want to beat the shit out of Sean. And I'm sure Izzy wanted to. And Izzy was probably confident and cocky. It caused him to get caught the first round. But, man, Sean just walked him down. Look, his defensive performance, it was just impressive. The jab on, like, Sean, it was crazy because you see Sean, he wasn't close enough, but his footwork, it was on a different level. As soon as he threw the jab, just scooted up, boom, and just reached and always landed. It was, I don't know how he got it. And you see Izzy just lean back and he just still get caught. And I'm like, oh my God, you know? And I was truly blown away from that performance. It was like a flawless performance for Sean Strickland. And if you guys haven't seen the episode of him and Joe Rogan, you guys need to watch it because Sean Strickland has one of the craziest stories, you know, and it's a little inspirational. If I'm being honest, Sean Strickland's story is very inspirational. You know, and it's inspirational in many ways for different people, in my opinion. To me, it's just like, if you are willing to put in the work, you know, you just might become champion, or you just might, you know, achieve that big thing. And it was amazing. So the 5th round comes, and I mean, The first, second, third, fourth, and fifth round was all the same. Sean Strickland just walked him down, landed very clean shots. Izzy tried. He tried, but he landed like 1 or 2 clean shots on Sean, but just nothing dangerous. And we never seen Izzy look so, like, defeated. Like, no answers whatsoever, you know? And it's like, what the fuck happened? I don't know. But, you know, at the end, you just see Sean talking mad crazy to Izzy. And then, you know, he just can't believe it. He's just like, what? What is happening, you know? And, I mean, it's just so cool to see a guy that had no, I'm sure in the past, had no idea that he was going to be on a main event in the UFC and then be crowned as champion. And he was just probably like, what is life? So it was badass to see, you know? And then, I mean, post-conference, he's just thanking everybody, thanking the fans. I mean, the Octagon interview, Izzy doesn't do one. He leaves. Then there's the post-conference, and it was a little weird that Izzy didn't want to do a post-conference because usually he does, and it was kind of upsetting that he didn't because usually he always does, and, you know, he just had, I don't know. I think it was a lot of people, he's saying that, like, oh, he wanted to go celebrate with his people, and in my eyes, I'm like, this is the only thing I will say bad about Izzy for this fight. It's like, bro, you're the champion. You're literally one of the best ever to step in the ring. Like, just show your face. Just admit that you got caught by Sean Strickland. You know, I know he said the better man won, but answer the questions for the journalists in the UFC. That's like, I don't know. Like, it was a little upsetting. I know it's his choice, whatever he wants. I get very upset when I lose, whatever it may be, but I don't know. Like, he really could have said something, but I really think that Izzy was a little butthurt. And I could be wrong. Maybe he really just wanted to go celebrate, but I think he was a little butthurt. And he had his coach, you know, basically answer the questions. His coach answered a few questions, and it seemed like Izzy and his coaching team just were not on the same page that night. His coach said that, and it looked like they were off, you know. The coach said that he wanted Izzy to do something and he wasn't doing it. So who knows what was happening in the corner or what happened that night with them. But I mean, Sean came out. I mean, we got typical Sean answering his questions, just doesn't believe it. And I mean, he's at the end of the day, he's humble. He talks crazy. He said it was weird that Izzy, like, he made it seem like Izzy was explaining to him about like the dog or his friend or something like that. And it got cleared up that, you know, that was his dog that passed and something like that, you know. And Sean kind of blew it off and he was like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, you know, it's just a dog. Like, I don't know. And I understand Sean's attitude. I get it. But I will defend Sean on this. You know, Sean is a person. He has his own way of life, own way of thinking. He doesn't have to, you know, curate his life around us as fans. You know, he's a UFC champion. He just beat one of the best in the world. Whatever he's doing is working, and it makes it look. I'm not saying that he is happy, but I mean, to be in that position, you're gonna get sponsorship deals. You're gonna get this. You're gonna get a little bit. You know, you're gonna get fame. Like, it's all positive. You know, and that's just who he is. That's his personality, and there's nothing wrong with it. You know, like, let Sean Strickland be Sean Strickland, and we shouldn't try and change that at all. Like, there's no reason for us to get upset about how Sean is. Like, he went through. I mean, most of us probably can't even imagine what he went through, and just even go what he went through. Like, and we only know like a little bit because, you know, it's all just out there on the internet. So like, whatever he went through had to be tough. I'm pretty sure you could tell because he's a little not fucked up, but he's like you can tell that Sean Strickland's been through some shit, you know. So let Sean Strickland be Sean, and we shouldn't be upset about it, you know. And I know I've seen some people on Twitter talking about like how he's not okay, like mentally. I'm like, bro, Sean is fine. Trust me. You know, he's just being brutally fucking honest, and he went through a lot of fucking shit. And he's fine. You know, and he's going to be happy. So, you know, yeah, that's that. Now, I guess a few things I want to mention about that. I've seen people on the internet, on Twitter, talking about how Izzy was never that good. And I'm like, golly, bro. Like, let's not jump into that fucking boat. You know, like let's not do that. You know, what Izzy has done in that division, I want to say it's middleweight. I always get them mixed up, but what he's done in division, I mean, we saw Anderson Silva do it, and then Robert Whittaker, I want to say it was Robert Whittaker became champ. I don't remember. But Israel Adesanya became champion, and I mean, he's been champion since then. He came into the UFC in 2018, and I want to say either that year or the following year is when he became champion. And I'm like, bro, like, Izzy is going to go down as one of the best. He's always fucking fighting, always. And we don't ever hear about the injuries. We don't ever hear about this, ever that. He's always showing his face, always having this positive attitude, always just showing dominance. Like, he beats the fuck out of people, man. That's what he does. He's a badass. And in my opinion, he's still on the GOAT list. The only one that surpasses him, in my opinion, at this moment, is John Jones. Not fucking Khabib, not Anderson Silva, not GSP. I'm sorry. You know, for me, Izzy is number 2 in my GOAT list. It's John Jones, Israel Adesanya. Plain and simple. You know? Israel Adesanya didn't become champion and beat fucking cans and walked away the sport like Khabib did. But Izzy's one of the best ever to exist. So we got to respect Izzy as a champion. And that's it. He's one of the best in that division. And he's going to come back and he's going to get that fucking belt back. You know? And I would love to see him and Sean run it back, whether it's now or later. I'd rather see it a little bit later. I want to see Sean fight someone else and then let Izzy fight someone else. And then it's like, okay, Izzy's ready back to the title. But let Izzy not have the title. Like, let him remove that pressure from him and move on and fight someone else in the meantime. Last thing I want to talk about, you know, Dana White said that it's pretty obvious that you want to see Sean Strickland and Israel Adesanya's obvious answer. Instant rematch. Boom. Right? Sean Strickland dominated Israel Adesanya for 5 fucking rounds. And why would you want to see that? It's like seeing Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford again. But yet, Aljamain Sterling, on the other hand, is itching and begging for his rematch, and he can't get it for some reason. And I'm like, bro, Aljamain got a DQ, then beat that fucking guy, Peter Yan. Then he beat TJ Dillashaw. Then he beat arguably the GOAT at that division, Henry Cejudo. And then he got knocked out by Sean O'Malley. He got caught one shot, you know? But Izzy's performance was, he got dominated for 5 rounds. Aljamain got caught once. And probably lost like 2 rounds. And all his other fights are combined. But he can't get a title shot next. You can't tell me that's fucking bullshit. You know, I'm being real. I didn't like Aljo, and I still don't really like him, but I don't hate him. The dude's a fucking champ. He's a killer. I really hope now Aljamain stays at 135 and beats the fuck everybody till they have to give him his rematch. And that's what we're going to do. And I hope he can fight Sean O'Malley for the belt again. I'm going to like this, running short on time. I hope them Cowboys win. I hope your NFL team win, except that it's not the Giants. I hope you guys enjoyed this weekend. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you guys on Friday. Peace.